but you do a ton of other metal fabrication techniques too. I mean, it's that's where I found a lot of interest in the different ways and the different pieces of equipment that you utilize to get to that final product.
Right. Yeah. No. Very true. It's funny because 2 years ago, or I guess when I first started out a few years ago, I truly had like 3 tools. I had my welder, a hammer, like a carpenter's hammer, and just an angle grinder. But to be honest, yeah, I got so good with an angle grinder, just all those years oil patch. But as a helper, as an apprentice, that is 90% of what you're doing on the job. You are like, you got to grind it. That's all you're doing. So I got very good at like working the metal, and that to me, right, a lot of it is welding and placements of the welds, but the grinding and stuff like that, because that's what shaping essentially, like the face is, and all of that. So what
is, me not being in the trade, I'm going to use a very primitive description of it, but you use it a lot. It's I don't want to call it, it's not a brake, is it? What's the hammer that keeps going to the machine, where you kind of work the metal through and you're shaping it? What's that called?
I don't use one of those, but like I don't like what they use for like knife making you're talking about?
No, like I was watching like one of your videos. It's a blue machine, and it's literally just like this thing that
okay, yeah, I got you. That's an English wheel. So actually,
got it. I
got linked up with Bailey Industrial this past year, and that's a new tool that I have in my shop. So up until I got the English wheel, I have just a regular vise on my table, and I'm like, everything that I've done, I still do basically, because you kind of just continue to do what you're used to. It's just been like breaking my back, like bending this cold steel in my vise. So this English wheel is making my life a lot easier because it's essentially using pressure. Those 2 wheels are pushing down on the steel, and it essentially is bending it and shaping it. But up until then, it's just, again, probably very bad on my back, but in good shape.
It's neat to watch all the different techniques and to think about, like you said, starting out with a welder, an angle grinder, and a friggin' carpenter's hammer that you're trying to shape with, and this and that. That's but I feel like if you know those basics, when you do have the opportunity to bring in new equipment, you can always fall back on those. So you can kind of start to, once again, hey, this is something new. Test your limits. Challenge yourself with this new piece of equipment to see where it can take your finished product, because you have so much more flexibility with what you can do.
100%. Yeah, and it's kind of cool to be able to tell people that, because I think a lot of the times when they look at some of these pieces, they just assume, that I have these crazy tools making my life easier and getting the job done, but essentially it's just a lot of like elbow grease and time, And
I noticed too, you were speaking about, the physical toll on your body, even with the busy, work schedule and family schedule, it looks like you still try to take some time to make sure and get some workouts in. And I think that's key for people to understand, where, when your body is your instrument and it's what you makes your living, like, you've got to take care of it.
Yeah, 100%. I think for me too, working alone, because it's different when you're on site and you have the whole crew, help you lift things and this and that. But I do need an overhead kind of pulley or crane system in here, because this shit is getting heavy. But
if anybody's listening in the business, reach out to Jen.
That's right.
Cut her a deal. Take care of the girl.
That's right. Save my back. I mean, at this point, I'm lifting all this stuff on my own. A lot, like these pieces, they're getting past 100 pounds, and you're hauling these around continuously, like throughout the entire job. So like you said, for me, it is very important to, get in the gym and stay in shape just so I can do my job, for sure.
I love it. So we got to talk a little bit about the 8 pieces. Like, how cool was it to get commissioned to do Kingdom Planet of the Apes, that piece? And that had to come from, because that's 2 separate pieces, right? You had the tuxedo one. So did the tuxedo one lead to them reaching out, or had they already reached out?
No, you got it bang on there. The 8 piece, the tuxedo one, this is the first piece I think I've done in the past 2 years that I just wanted to do. So it's not this. It will be up for sale. But it's not sold currently. I'm just building it because I've had this vision in my head for like 5 years.
Guys, thanks so much for watching the clips. If you would like, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like more clips like this, click here. Or if you'd like to enjoy this whole episode, click here.